Let's do a
Oh
real
man, this
realistic
weekend gets
check.
interesting.
It really does.
You know what? We're good though.
You know what?
we're healthy.
Exactly. Exactly. For the
We're like
first
never
time in a
healthy.
long time.
We always have something going on. Not this year.
Oh gosh. Which
Let's
is
get out.
absolutely wild to me. And like I'm loving every second of it. But also it's like this weird, eerie feeling of like what kind of Matrix Twilight Zone type vibe are we in? Because everything like actually seems okay.
No, 100%. And you like as a Leafs fan, you should feel good. I think things are different. The approach is different. The coach is different. This is a championship winning coach. Um, I know, Dave is gonna have us pivot to that series. Marsha and uh, the whole panel, like we're gonna be talking about this. But I know Jason's gonna have some thoughts. But just I feel good. You got Ottawa. This isn't a Boston that's been there, done that. It's not a Tampa that's been there, done that. This is a young team. We're better. Uh, Dave, let us know. Let us know what other series you want to talk about before we talk about
So I guess we finished up with Dallas, Colorado, correct?
See, senor, unless there was anything else you wanted to add.
Okay, no, I'm good with that. Um, let's finish off the Pacific before we do the piece de resistance, aka the main event, aka the reason that everybody comes to listen to us, Ottawa and Toronto. First things first, let's go to Vegas and Minnesota. I don't think there's much to talk about this series, considering that Vegas is Aiden Hill, and the Vegas Golden Knights are basically going to destroy Minnesota at this point. Any defectors on this one?
no, Vegas should curb
Hey,
stomp them. I didn't even want Minnesota to make it. I wanted Calgary to make it so Nas could get some tick, but I guess
yeah.
they snuck in. There, I don't think Minnesota is very good. So
No, man, I don't even care about that series. That's gonna be a boring series, bro. Whoever wins that series, bro.
Real.
Whoever,
No, I fully agree with that. But
real shit. I don't care,
I
bro.
will make I will make one note about Vegas. How good is Jack Eichel? Like
for
career
real,
almost kind of effed up. He goes to Vegas. He kind of starts off a little slow. Then he has like an unbelievable playoff run, wins a cup a couple years ago. And then like this final version of Eichel, this was the one that I remember when the McDavid draft. Obviously, McDavid was going one, but you had like those like silent scouts that were like, don't sleep on Eichel being just as good. And he's not, but he's arguably a top five defensive forward in the league, and he's like now a 90 to 100 point forward. And it's just this version of Jack Eichel is insane. Like he is so good. He's a matchup center. He's a matchup nightmare. Like good on him. Like just kind of how he resurrected his career. I love watching Jack Eichel play.
Yeah, no, Eichel is good, bro. Like the Vegas Cat Benders, I mean the Vegas Golden Knights, they have a good squad. They have the veterans there. That should be a cakewalk for those guys. They have Petrangelo back there. They have Noah Hannafin on the back end manning the blue line. Eichel is there. Stone. Um,
you
yeah,
got White Cloud too.
Zach Whitecloud. They're loaded. Like the way that team was built, it was built to win based off of them bending the cap. So it's gonna be a boring series, but a cakewalk for Vegas. I don't see Vegas losing that series at all. Right? You see that
Do
series?
you see? Do either of you see Marc Andre Fleury play his last ever playoff game?
Yeah, we're gonna see that.
Yeah.
They're,
At
they're
least
gonna
one.
they gotta give him. They have to give him a taste because you never know. Like Flurry could get hot. You've seen what he did in Pittsburgh. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It wasn't because he had Sidney. Well, yeah, he had Crosby and Malkin and a lot of other like role players and stuff on that roster. You know what I mean? But I mean, he was responsible for some of those wins in that playoff run where like Pittsburgh was getting hemmed in. You know what I'm saying? So you if I'm the coach in Minnesota, I'm giving him game one just based off of him being Flower, and this is his last hurrah. I'm not having him back up anything in game one. And if he wins game one, then he can have game two. And I'm just gonna ride Fleury, pause, until he actually like loses a game. And then when he loses a game, I'll go to my other goalie. But I let Fleury get a look. Just out of respect. Just out of respect.
No, that's fair. That's a fair point. I probably would have said, depending on what the result is of 1 and 2, they would put him in for 3 and beyond. But
Mhm.
starting him in one makes sense though. As you said, Jay, like as just sheer respect, just let him get it. And if he stays hot, he stays hot. You don't know where that's gonna take Mini throughout. It might you might have a bit of a challenge on your hand and it might extend the series. So
No, I agree.
I don't see how, like, they almost weren't here. So I don't see how it could hurt them.
I think the other factor at play, um, Kirill Kaprizov is healthy as well in this situation. But again, like all of you have stated, Minnesota does not have the capability of potentially stealing this series unless, say, some massive collapse happens with Aiden Hill and you get Ilya Samsonov, former Leaf goaltender, by the way, in between the pipes. And Minnesota can take advantage of that. But at any given point in time, anything can happen, right? We saw President's Trophy winners basically get derailed by trash teams like Montreal. Like we saw the Kings go to the Stanley Cup as an 8th seed a number of years ago. We saw Vegas, who had like a 4-0 lead, take a major penalty and basically destroy themselves on a 5-minute major and get 4 goals scored against them in the worst way possible. Like it's bad. But anything can happen in this situation.
No,
Uh,
facts. You can't dispute that, but I
yeah.
think Vegas is at a point now where they're trying to like build a dynasty out there. And I
Mm,
think that as much as we want to see Flower win, I don't think that's gonna happen in the first round.
mm. No, I agree with that. I do probably see this going maybe 5. Say Flurry steals his final game, probably does it at home, and then that's it. Vegas just puts Minnesota out of their misery. Marc Andre Fleury rides off into the sunset, and great career. Before we finally take our flight back to Ontario, we're gonna go, I guess, take a ride on the Pacific Coast Highway and head down to LA, where the Los Angeles Kings and the Edmonton Oilers once again renew hostilities. These two teams have consistently played each other throughout the last 10 years, or throughout the last 5 years. And I'm going to say this right now. This is the Quinton Byfield show featuring Connor McDavid. And you know what? Like I as much as I would like to say, and I know if Avry jumps in here, Avery's probably gonna lose his mind. But I feel like for some reason, and for some reason, I see the Kings actually winning this series. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because Edmonton has been on a massive tear for the last number of years. Of course, a Cup final appearance, an Western Conference Finals appearance, numerous playoff appearances, and you kind of have to wonder: is the core of Connor McDavid, Darnell Nurse, Leon Draisaitl, Stuart Skinner, and Matthias Ekholm and the Edmonton Oilers, are they pretty much ready to just say, you know what, screw this, we're just going to chill for the summer and take a first round exit, or are they going to try and repeat and get themselves back to the Stanley Cup final?
I don't know, Reese. What sayeth you, bro? I think Edmonton is weak on the back end, bro, and that's gonna be their demise. And their goaltending isn't stable. If I'm being honest, yeah, they have McDavid, they have Leon Draisaitl. They have guys that can help them and boost them, but without a productive back end and productive goaltending that's not proven, You know what I mean? You're not gonna outscore teams 8-0, 8-5, 8-6 in the playoffs, because in the playoffs it's tighter. The checking is tighter, the space is tighter. Certain guys that are used to having room in the regular season are not gonna have that regular room in the regular season. And although Edmonton added some grit, Travis Frederick, they have Henry, they have guys, Corey Perry, the worm, the most annoying player in the NHL. You know, without a backhand, without defenders that can actually defend and goaltend. Yeah, Leafs, go Leafs, go Leafs in 5. Yeah, without, yeah, real shit. Yeah, you gotta love Toronto, bro. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, Edmonton, I don't think has a chance in that series. Not at all. Not at all. Not this time. LA is coming in there hot, heavy, and hungry. And I see I see LA winning that series really in some real like LA fashion. Like they're gonna grind. Byfield is coming into his own over there. You know, we talk about black excellence on the show all the time. And to see
Real.
Byfield, to see Byfield in there
He's so
excel. Yeah, he's good, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And he's a guy that's gonna give you 110% every shift. You know what I'm saying? And just going back on the Kings, you know, they have one of the best shutdown centers in the NHL in Phil Deneau. You know, like, and that guy, I just whenever I see this guy, I just think of the nightmares he caused Austin Matthews in that fucking Montreal series. Excuse me for swearing, but he's a nightmare matchup to play against. McDavid is gonna go through some hard times playing against the no. You know what I mean? It's gonna be
Real.
tough. It's not gonna be a walk in the park. LA is playing some good hockey. You know, Doughty's back there. They have that defenseman, that young defenseman. I can't remember his name, man. He has the best name in hockey. What is his name, man? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna tell you his name in a second. But
Mm.
he's a younger defenseman and he plays so hard. He plays the game the right way. And he
talking about the
definitely is
Kings. Brandon Clark.
Bandit Clark.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my
he's a
goodness. Bandit Clark Reese. Like guys, oh, Trevor Moore. You know, like guys, I don't know if Edmonton can hang. They have the best hockey, they have the best player in the world, but the back end is the question mark, and the goaltending is a question mark for me. And right now, LA has them in a chokehold because Ekholm is out. He's injured. Darnell Nurse alone cannot hold down that back end. Bouchard is a good offensive defenseman, but every other clip we're seeing him get dog walked. I don't see Edmonton surviving LA in the first round. Edmonton's going home early. Edmonton, you're out. Bye-bye.
I feel like Avery's gonna jump into like the magic moment and just basically come drop kick you for that one. I'm waiting for him to come in right now and actually say something about that. But
I
no,
hate that matchup
I
for Edmonton.
yo, honestly, like Edmonton actually had a chance to do some damage. I mean, like considering the fact that they're just coming off a Stanley Cup final run, um, really and truly, like I mean, Edmonton still managed to get themselves a playoff spot this year. And you know what? Like, even with injuries to Connor McDavid
Oh,
and
they've been good. The thing with Edmonton is I hate this matchup for them, but like they regularly beat the Kings
Mhm,
like in the playoffs. It's going to be a long series, it's going to be a grueling series, but when you beat somebody like
mhm,
you get them mentally, and it's like the for the Kings, their Bruins is the Oilers, the way that the Bruins are for us. I
yeah,
will say the Kings are big, they're physical, they're tight, they're tight checking. They played really good pucks second half of the year. They started off super slow. Darcy
mhm,
Kemper's really good, but it's like they rely so much on like one of you guys have to step up and end up scoring. And for the last season and a half, that's been Byfield. And it's just where is the other scoring coming from? Like
yeah,
they don't score a lot of goals in the way that Edmonton, when you have McDavid and like Hyman and Drysaitel, like those engines, like they always score. Though like they lack depth, and like the Jeff Skinner signing is kind of sucked, and like Victor Arvidsson is kind of like regressed. Then it's like Evander Kane is injured, not even playing. So it's like where's the secondary scoring coming from? But you just know McDavid's line got you 2 a night. And if he's with Draisaitl, they got you 3. And if Draisaitl's on his own, manning his own line, they got you 1 or 2. So it's just like you know where the goals are coming from. In the way with the Kings, I don't know where the goals are coming from every night. It's still like kind of like a by committee kind of thing. But they have good depth. They're like all two-way forwards. They're all defensively conscious, and they're really good on the back end. Like they're still getting good play from like Drew Doughty. Like they're still good defensively. So it's like that's going to be a long, grueling series. It's kind of like Toronto Boston. It's gonna go 6 or 7, probably 7. But it's like one shot wins. You know McDavid, especially when it's like, oh, we're down 1-0 and it's midway second. We're kind of getting outplayed. Oh, here comes McDavid end to end. It's a goal. Like McDavid and Draisaitl, even more so than my own guys, are undeniable. Like those two and McKinnon, and to an extent, Cale Makar's a defense. Like those guys are like, hey, we need a goal. We're gonna go get a goal. So it's like, I got Edmonton. I don't feel great that I have Edmonton. The Kings are they're gonna be big. They're gonna make it tight knit. But does it matter for McDavid? Does it ever matter? So
No.
but they're not good. And they lost a lot of their depth in the offseason. And then the guys they replaced them with haven't been good. Like Jeff Skinner is someone I wanted in Toronto. He's a 20-point forward playing next to McDavid and Draisaitl all year. He's a 20-point forward.
Will
But does
Zach
it matter?
Hyman be an X factor in this series as well? That's the other
Yeah,
question.
he's really good, but he's regressed this year.
Mm.
But like, does it matter? They have McDavid. If McDavid says I'm going end to end and I'm gonna have a high danger chance, you can do nothing about it. Or if Leon Draisaitl says I want to shoot the puck from anywhere, but my pucks have eyes, it's inevitable. So with a team like the Kings, especially a team that you consistently beat, and I will say this, I forgot his name is the Edmonton's goalie in his own right has been good in his own right.
It's not
Whatever his
Stuart.
face.
It's not Stuart Skinner.
Yeah,
Picard or Skinner?
I think it's Stuart Skinner. I think he's been their starting goalie all year, and I believe he's been good. So
Yeah, he's been decent. He's been good. Yeah, good is a fair assessment, brother. Good is a fair assessment.
like he can hold serve. I don't think he's better than Kemper, but I don't think the Kemper Skinner like matchup is like Kemper's way better. And LA also plays a super tight game, which protects the goalies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you
So
said it, Reese. You said it. You said it, bro. And that's why I love when you're on the panel with us because like you bring a different like insight to the game, right? Because you played it, right? Like you said, LA is a very defensive structured team down to the forwards, and that's a key component if you're gonna compete, for a Stanley Cup. Like you can't just be all offense. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to
100%.
back check. You got to be able to protect your defensemen, and you got to be if you're playing center. You got to be the first guy back with the two defenders. You got to sometimes go in the corner and battle bigger guys to try and win a board battle. And LA excels and surpasses Edmonton in that aspect of the game. Yes, Edmonton might be the heavier team, but sometimes being heavier doesn't really matter all that much when it comes down to winning a cup. You know what I'm saying? When you really look at it. So I like the fact that you brought that up because that is a key component when you're going for a cup, bro.
It's true. I say
And
that same
again,
thing about like.
literally,
Hold on. Let's let Marsha speak real quick
No,
before you jump in.
I was just gonna say, like, that's why LA consistently gets to where they are because they play the basics of hockey. Sometimes you just need to get back to the things that you learned when you first started playing. Protect the person in goal. Play hard with like a communal goal in mind, and they never stray from those thoughts. Like, yes, they work and they change on the fly, but they have a method that works for them and they stick to it, and somehow it helps them remain consistent.
and like the Kings are such an interesting team because all right, so I'm looking at their guys, right, and their stats, and like 170-point forward, two other guys above 60 points, two 30-goal scorers in Kemp and Fiala. But you look through that lineup, anybody that's played more than 11 minutes a night, only one of them is a minus on the season. They're all pluses. Plus 36, plus 23, plus 17, plus 15, plus 27, plus 24, plus 7, plus 19, plus 20, plus 22. This is unreal.
That's
Like
wild.
all
That's
defensively
wild.
cautious, all good in their own end. They're all good with the puck. They push the puck up the ice. They get it out their zone. They push it up. Like this great functional skill, functional hockey skill. The things that you need to win. Good puck movers, good skaters, hard along the boards, hard on the glass, and they got pivots, and a lot of their centers play wing for them, so they're deep at center. So it's like you love it, but then it's just the McDavid effect. I'm maybe too caught up on the McDavid effect and literally witnessing it last year in a series they had no business forcing 7 against Florida. The
Yeah.
McDavid thing just is like
Yeah.
McJesus, it's Gretzky, it's Yager, it's Lemieux, it's Orr.
All, all in one.
Yeah, it's just he's insane. That's the only reason. So it's like you can catch a team that on paper you love them. You watch their game. They're I think they're fun to watch too. I've watched some of they're physical, they're fast. It's just they score by committee. But then it's like, do I want to bet against McJesus against a team where it's like, if they're down 2-1, who's their guy to go get him goal versus I know what McDavid's going to do. I know what Draisaitl's going to do, but that's going to be a great series.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's going to be some fun hockey. It's going to be competitive, and there's already bad blood, like black on black violence, based off of what Nurse did to Byfield. Like that was nastiness, Nurse. Like I don't know, like if someone like spiked his dumpling and banana and provision, and just put like angry pills in it or something.
Yep.
Bro. But yo, that
I
was
saw Dano went crazy. I saw they were going crazy.
Yeah, that was a very physical game. That I think in round one, that is the series that, aside from the Leafs, is the series that I'm looking forward to watching. Not because Nurse, not because Byfield, but just based off of the energy those two teams bring when they compete against each other. And the second thing is the fact that there's already bad blood intention. You know what I mean? Between the two squads. So that combined in a playoff element where everything is tighter is going to make that series great. I see it going 7. I see it going to the LA Kings.
In all honesty, like the last time these two teams played each other was like literally last year, and like the Oilers are on a six series winning streak between these two teams right now, and like the Kings have not won. The Kings have not won a series against Edmonton since the 90s. Like when Gretzky was playing for Los Angeles. That's a pretty wild stat, to tell you the truth. And it's just like you're sitting there wondering, like, yo, can LA finally pull this one off? And like I gotta agree with all y'all right now. Like, yo, it's gonna be some black on black crime on the ice tonight. And it's just like you're gonna sit there and wonder, like, is this still gonna be the Connor McDavid show, or is this gonna be the Black Excellence episode? Or no, is this going to be the chapter of Black Excellence for the Los Angeles Kings? And I think that's something I'm excited to see as well. You know, a little hockey night in Canada, late night where Los Angeles and Edmonton take over on the late game and just dust it up one time. You know, unfortunately, Avery's running a little late, so we can't really get his insight on this real quick, but he does send his regards. But as it stands right now, what we're seeing right now is that we're seeing LA, Dallas, Vegas, and what was that last team? Winnipeg, or in some cases St. Louis, taking the entire West. But folks, we have finally come to the last series that we've all been salivating over. The Battle of Ontario has been renewed for the first time in over 2 decades. The Toronto Maple Leaf them take on the Blood Clot Senators. Tail of the tape real quick. Toronto, of course, has lost 3 straight to no, not even 3 straight, 4 straight to Ottawa this season alone. However, the Leafs have taken the Atlantic, which is absolutely wild. And of course, the Atlantic Division has been an absolute bloodbath because, say, Florida beat Tampa in the season series. Montreal beat Florida in their season series. Toronto beat Tampa in their season series. Ottawa has beaten Montreal. Florida has beaten Ottawa. It's absolute bedlam in this division, and it just shows that, like, there is a lot of strong hockey in this division alone. But what I would like to say is this: the Leafs are winning in 4, and I'm not saying anything else. But I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Leafs are more than likely winning in 5 games, maybe 6. Let's break this down real quick. Reese, I'm going to start with you. Oh, wait. Hold up.
First of all, we got to go back to Avry with the Oilers, and then Jason and Marsha. They got. I want to go last. I want to hear everybody first.
You want to run? You want to run the anchor?
Yeah.
All right, that's not a problem.
All right.
I just want to listen to y'all. I'm so excited.
Yo, real talk. So, Avry, we're happy you're here, but 2-2s right now. Stop playing right now. Mr. Planter's looking at us. Real talk, we need your opinion because, like, we've all been shit talking Edmonton, and we're saying that the Kings are more than likely going to win this series in 5 games. What's your piece on this?
Hold on. Okay, now I have no problem in people picking the LA Kings. I have no issue with that, but doubting McDavid, doubting Draisaitl is just absurd. Doubting a team, because remember, Leon Draisaitl has had his way with the Kings in the postseason beforehand. On a bad ankle, in 2022, he put up dang near 20 points in the Kings on one leg. And now you're riding a Oilers top 6 unit that is getting momentum from guys playing well, like Jeff Skinner, like Connor, like McDavid. And again, you're getting secondary guys stepping up now, like the Connor Browns. So I think Edmonton is going to find a way. Once again, it's going to be a hard series to once again move past the LA Kings. If Stuart Skinner can find his groove again, this will not be an easy series for the LA Kings. So the idea of LA winning, not impossible. But in 5 games, y'all are wilding.
Avry, listen. I understand. I'm putting biasness aside. I'm trying to take like a logical approach. Before you came in the chat, I brought up some good points, and Reese brought in some good points. Marsha as well, Dave as well, and the points that we were talking about for a little while were the fact that the goaltending is a question mark and the back end is a question mark. When the Oilers beat the Kings with Evander Kane, Matthias Ekholm, and those guys, like, the back end was solidified. And when I say solidified, they had a general back there. One of the key components to being able to put your team going on a run and doing damage in the playoffs is ensuring that your back end is solidified. Bouchard, Ekholm, and the guys that were contributing on the back end. This year, Skinner hasn't been the greatest. Picard came in and played okay. He played well at times, but he was okay. Now we find out that Ekholm is done. Darnell Nurse has showed us that he is a good defenseman. They paid Edmonton values him. They paid him $9.25 million over however many years. But Avry, without that core defenseman in Matthias Ekholm, the guy that knows what to do when the pressure gets tight, he knows what to do in certain situations. You don't have that on the ice. That makes your team not that strong. Not having that defensive piece makes your team not that strong. Yes, you have the greatest hockey player in the universe right now. You have another top 10 hockey player. Like you said, the bottom 6 is producing. Skinner, guys like that, they're starting to come around. Corey Perry, like, all these guys are contributing. Connor Brown. But Avry, without Matthias Ekholm, that Edmonton team is frail and it's standing on one leg. And we're being honest, they're going up against, you're right, they didn't really change in LA the core pieces that they had there before. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at certain stats, especially the one that Reese brought up, all the guys on LA are like plus 30 or they're in the plus. There's no minuses on those guys, which goes to show you, touching on the point Reese brought up, is that LA, the Kings, are a defensive team that can put up offense when they need to. This LA Kings team is not the same LA Kings team that Edmonton played last year, is all I'm trying to say. LA in 5 is possible, Avery, without Matthias Ekholm.
LA in 5 is LA winning, not impossible. In 5, again, and going again. And here's the thing. Yes, the Kings have home ice advantage, but I do think that is a tad bit overrated when it comes to this year. Edmonton found a way beforehand to win in Los Angeles. And yes, losing at home is a big hit. It's definitely a big hit. So it's going to be up to guys like Nurse, like Todd Emerson, and like Brett Kulak to stand strong, hold better. And this is where Edmonton, in this season alone, Edmonton has been able to outscore their problems. And I think once again, they're going to be able to find a way to outscore their problems. And the Kings the Kings haven't been as defensive. The Kings have moved away from the 1-3-1. I don't think the Kings want to get into a run and gun game against the Oilers. They don't want to do that. Edmonton has the horses to do it. LA doesn't want to do it. Yes, you have Kopitar, Kempe, you've got Quinn Byfield, but you cannot do that for long against the Oilers. They will burn you.
Yo, you're not wrong, Avery. LA cannot get into a run and gun game with the Oilers because if that happens, Edmonton is gonna dog walk them. If LA tries to go out there and tries to, score a bunch of goals, that is not the way they should play. If LA is planning to do that to Edmonton, the plan is not gonna work. Everything they put up in the regular season is not gonna mean anything. LA is gonna have to play a structured game. They're going to have to figure out a way how to clog up the middle, and they're going to have to close. They have the impossible task there. They have the impossible task of trying to close the space that Connor McDavid can create.
I got one input. First of all, Avery, it's so good to see you without that dumbass fedora, your hairline looking clean, fresh haircut. Look at you. You look good, boy. You look good. This is what I'm talking about. You look good. You look handsome. Keep that damn hat off your head. It's playoff time.
Considering this show is audio only, nobody gonna see it, Reese. This show is audio only.
Hey, this need to be your Hinge profile. You ready to go? You ready to go? While you was gone, I did defend your Oilers. I did say the Oilers, no matter how good the Kings are, no matter how big they are, no matter how two-way they are, the McJesus effect. You just can't stop McJesus. Like, it is what it is. The games are going to be tight. It's going to be physical. But at the end of the day, can you stop McDavid going end-to-end and scoring? You can't. You just can't.
Man, my thing in that series is if Byfield just keeps going to the net and just tapping in rebounds. Like, who's gonna stop him? What's Nurse gonna do? Cross-check him again in the head? Byfield, did you see the goal Byfield scored where he knocked the puck down with the stick
like one
in
hand
one
with a
hand,
stick, and they hit it
and
again?
then scored with that same hand? Yeah, like, how do you? And Ekholm is a big physical guy, but Avery said it right. Guys like Kulak, Emerson, those guys, they gotta kind of hold it down. Like, you know what I mean? I just Byfield going to the net is a crazy thing, bro. To stop.
Hey,
we haven't heard.
I hope Black Man get his.
The what?
No, we haven't heard from you in a hot second.
Yeah, no. I just Reese cut himself off with what he was saying. I'm like, what?
Oh, my bad. I was just saying, Black Man getting his stats make me happy.
Oh, true.
Black excellence.
Exactly. But no, I mean this series is a little bit of an anomaly because I feel like they're both teams that they can be really solid when they hit the ice, but they could also like shit the bed in a matter of minutes. And it really depends on the energy that they bring when like from the jump, game one. Um, and they play off of each other's energy a lot. So I feel like if the strong forces on both teams come out hard, you have the Byfield, you have McDavid, you have Draisaitl, you have people like playing a cohesive effort, it will go the mile, and it won't necessarily be a dog walk unless people like colossally mess up game 1 and 2. It'll be an interesting series.
So, Avery, how are we feeling now?
Okay. Rutabaga, tomato, cheese, corned beef, Oilers in 5.
Oilers in 5.
Yo, Avery's a
Yeah,
wild
go
man.
ahead,
Yo,
put that hat back on.
this man said put the hat back on. Oh my goodness, yo.
Yeah. All madness right here. All madness. Madness.
I'll say this much. Rob Blake knows if he loses, he's gone. Rob Blake knows he's candid to lose again in the 4th straight year in a row. I'll say that much.
Yeah, if Blake loses in the first round, he's cooked. He's done. He's done. 100% he's done. Yo, Avery, you gotta talk to the chefs for the Oilers, bro. I don't know if they gave Darnell Nurse some bad food or something. I don't know, bro. I don't know what they did to his dumpling and saltfish and stuff, bro. But the man just came out on a rampage, bro.
What was the joke I made? How we were saying in our show chat how Darnell against Byfield was Trinidad versus Jamaica.
Yeah, bro. Trinidad versus
The
Jamaica,
Battle of the
bro.
West Indies.
Yeah, man.
Yo, the peanut punch was something, guy.
Yo, it was Aki and Saltfish versus
It was
Kayla,
plantain versus plantain.
Yo,
Okay.
trust me.
Yo,
Nutriment versus Nesquik, Milo tea.
Stop.
bro. This guy.
yo, low key, Edmonton and LA is a pretty dang. That series is probably the most diverse in the league because you got Darnell, you got Evander Kane, you got Akil Thomas, you got Quentin Byfield, you got Jordan Spence. There's a lot.
Oh, I forgot Akil was on that roster too.
Yes.
Big up Scarborough. Akil Thomas. Scarborough, you.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot of melding in this series between both teams.
Yo, this is literally gonna be some black on black crime, man.
And who else? And there's one more who is and Andre Lee as well too. So you got bear folks who are black and Asian in this series.
In the 2 places where you might have least expected black people.
For real. Yo, considering this episode has nearly run 2 hours long, I think we really need to talk about the Leafs and the Senators before we wrap everything up and go with the predictions real quick.
Oh, this show is not gonna end tonight.
Yo, trust me. Like, yo, Avery, I feel bad for you editing this, man. Because, like, yo, if we can try and get this up before Good Friday, like, yo, it won't be a Good Friday for you. No pun intended. What?
Yo, I took the GO train from Oakville. I got off and I'm at home now, bro.
Yo, that's how long this episode has been running now.
Hey, if you weren't primed before, you're primed now.
Trust me.
Marsha.
Boy. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we are finally getting to the one series that we were all looking for. More so the 4 of us as opposed to Avery. We already know who his allegiances lie to. But the Leafs taking on the Ottawa Senators. It is the first matchup in 21 years between these 2 teams. The Leafs have won 4 straight series. Of course, Ottawa has won 4 straight games against them in the division this year. Ottawa has seemingly had Toronto's number, but of course, one swift stick to the head via Morgan Riley. If Greg is on the ice, like, yo, it could be anybody's game right now. First things first, I'm going to break this down real quick. I was trying to do this for every single series, but I didn't want to be completely repetitive. But let's go with the forward core of Ottawa versus the forward core of Toronto. Of course, you got your top 6 in you got your top 6 with Matthews, Nylander, Nyes, Tavares, Marner, and I forget who else is on the top lineup. Somebody help me out here real quick. And then you have you've got Toronto's top 6 forwards. You also have finishing out say Toronto's bottom 2 lines with Robertson, Myers, Lawton, Damn. Hold up. Let me pull up Toronto's depth chart here while I'm struggling through this right now. But
Domi, Pacioretty,
yes,
Bobby McDavid, Nick Robertson,
Bobby McDavid. Jesus.
like Chris Tanev, Jake, McCabe, OEL. Who else is there? Morgan Riley,
Yo,
Tavares.
we're only going with forwards, man. I ain't even talk about the
Oh,
defense yet, man.
oh, you're trying to
Latin
match up.
Lorenz,
Oh,
Yarncroc,
yeah, Jan Crow,
Yarn Croc, yes, there we go.
Holmberg.
David Kampf. Yeah,
Going on and on and on. And then, of course, you have Ottawa's forward core with, and Avery, you can probably help me out with this one time.
Stutzel.
No one that matters.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, bro.
Doesn't matter.
Sorry. Run them through.
Hold on. Y'all still there real quick?
Yeah, we're here, bro.
Si, senor.
Okay. All right. I thought y'all died off for a second.
Marsha, don't kill me about si, senor. Get out of here, man.
I have come to shave the grass. Jeez, man. Honestly, who has the edge though? Like, is it Toronto? Is it Ottawa? What are we looking at here?
Death,
There's no
taxes, Leafs in 5.
That's it. Like, yo, bro, like you just share your thoughts and just let us all share our thoughts, brother.
Trust.
Because we're gonna be here till 1 a.m., bro.
The earth is round. Celine Dion is fantastic. Leafs in 5.
Not
Beautiful
one,
haiku.
not two, not three, not four. Leafs in 5.
And Leafs in 5.
This guy.
Hey.
Yo, you're gone too far.
Yo, Avery,
No,
I'm sorry right now. But
that was my doing, and that was because I'm trying to get this show taken off the air for good.
But those are the facts. Those are the facts. I apologize if I shouldn't be joking like that.
You know, I don't.
But I should be joking like that. Leafs in 5.
You know, the last thing we want to see is all of us in a courtroom defending that and a sketch artist drawing Dave. And
hey, speaking
Anyways,
of, I got a question.
Let's get back to the episode real quick. Real quick.
And Dave, I got a question for the panel regarding this series. Yes. Everybody, give me your unsung Leafs hero for this series, because every time the Leafs play Ottawa, there's always a guy. Every time the Leafs make the run, it's not the Sundin you talk about. It's the Joey Nieuwendyk 2 muffins. It's the Alan McCaulleys, the Darcy Tucker fight the bench. Everybody, give me your unsung guy for the series. I want to hear it. I'm so
okay. Hold up. I want to start this right quick.
Wait, Reese. You forgot Sergei Berezin. You forgot man like
Steve my boy
Thomas.
Berezin.
Yo, you can't forget those guys, bro.
Yo, you can't even forget Corey Cross either. But yo, let me jump on this one time. Okay? First things first, I'm calling this right now. Like, yo, Brendan Carlo and Brady Tkachuk are going to get into a fight. Brady Tkachuk's going to get knocked out. Okay? I'm saying this just now. Brady's going to look like a bitch. No Brady whatsoever. Tim Slutzler, you're going to get shut down. By who? Me not care who. He's going to get shut down by everybody. Nick Robertson's going to be an unsung hero. He's going to get inserted into the lineup in game 1 and just basically light up the lamp on Linus Ullmark. Next, you're going to see Brendan Carlo get his first goal as a Leaf. No, his first playoff goal as a Leaf. Then you're going to see Scott Laughton come in, basically beat the living daylight out of whoever's left. You know, Claude Giroux is basically catching a Nefas and a Legos at the same time. And then just to finish everything out, Morgan Riley's going to get a couple clappers one time. And it's just going to be a wrap. It's going to be Laughton, it's going to be Robertson, and it's going to be Riley. Those are your unsung heroes. Joseph Wall will probably get a game or two. Anthony Stolarz is going to stand on his head. Yo, Leafs in 5. I'm done.
You so beautiful, bro.
The passion is real, bro. You guys didn't hear when I was outside and the guys like, yeah, go Leafs, go. Yo, the passion is
we
real.
heard you too.
Yo, bro, it's pure. I'm on the train on the way home from work. And yeah, there was a hockey game, but you just felt a different energy and a different vibe and a different flow right now. Like, it's not only me saying this, you know what I'm saying? But you could see in the people that they just have a new confidence in the way this. Okay, I'm gonna shut up right now. I don't know who wants to go first. I know
I
Reese
already
wants
went
to go
first.
last.
Somebody else can go next.
Reese wants to go last. So Marsha, I'm gonna shut up. The floor is yours.
We know how it's gonna go. This is nice though, cause like Canada's in the limelight, Ontario's in the limelight. This is gonna be a good ass series.
Mm.
I think Ottawa's eventually gonna get dog walked, but it's gonna be a good ass series. William Nylander will be the guy. He will be the guy the whole series. But you know what? Our unspoken, unsung playoff dudes. This is the series that's gonna draw out Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner for their playoff antics. I foresee it. It will unleash whatever powers are within, and it will be different from playoffs of years past. This is the year. And I say this because there has been so much focus in past years on individual stats and specific players doing specific things or not being useful, XYZ, this, that, the third. But they have been such a unit this whole year. Win together, lose together, do great things, boost up the stat lines all together. You have people doing things that they haven't been doing in the past few seasons. You have like John Tavares being someone who's super consistent, but people aren't talking about it because they see the things that they're doing all together.
Mm.
And that's the vibe that I'm getting. That's why I'm feeling like this is a different time because people aren't going to be focused on what one single person is going to be doing. They're going to play so well that it's going to be hard to single all of that out. But I still say Willie's going to be that top guy. I have to.
Okay. Reese, I'll go with you.
No, Reese is going last. He's running the anchor.
All right. Avery. There you go.
Yeah.
Is Avery gonna be the Brenny Siren of this series for us?
Unsung here. Yo, this man out here shouting out Bruni Siren. Yo, shout out to Bruni. Shout out to Glenroy Gilbert. Yo, shout out to Robert Esme. All them man them. So
Donovan Bailey, Andre DeGrasse.
we'll get back to all right. So unsung here. I know we touched on it. We talked about it last week here on the show. So we talked about the unsung hero. Ooh, that's a tough one. That is one where I'm gonna say we build some tension to it. We build some attention to who I think. So first of all, I'm not gonna be the devil's advocate. So I know some of you probably want me to be the devil's advocate. No, I will not be. I'll play nice today on the show for all of y'all. So my unsung hero, I think it's gonna be Nicholas Robertson. I think Robertson's gonna be the guy who's gonna get some tough goals come this postseason, might even get you an overtime winner or two, I think.
Overtime winner. I like that.
He's
All right. So it looks like Reese is going to be running that anchor like real quick right now. So, all right.
yeah, and it won't be long because I feel the equal level of passion between everyone in this panel, including Brother Avery with his hat off. You know, he wanted to show off the fresh haircut, so shout out him. He got the day off. Two names are in mind. I know. I think, like Marsha said, we're gonna find out a lot about the Matthews Marner. I think they'll show up big. They're gonna be the two best players in this series. Willie Nylander, obviously, every time. Nicky Robb is someone I hold near and dear to my heart as a fellow short king. We have the same measurables. He just made the league and I didn't. So I love Nicky Robb. But two guys in mind, one from the back end, one in the forward group. Scott Lawton, I'm very excited for him. He's played really good hockey over the last couple weeks. He's kind of found his, like, they'll move him around the lineup. He'll probably start out in that fourth line, but he's going to take a lot of defensive zone snaps on that third line where you probably put one of Max Domi or Nick Robertson like on the bench, defensive zone face-off. Let's get like a Lawton in there. If not in the dot, then as a supporting winger, I think he'll score a couple big goals. I saw a funny quote from him today saying that he watched the 2000 to 2004 Leafs Sens highlights and he just feels the passion. And then a second name, he has been among the worst, if not worst defenseman in the league, but has played outstanding the last 4 weeks, and that's Simone Benoit. He is bad. He's very, very bad. He's bad. But for some reason, I kind of like him. And he's bad. But this is a series where he's not going to be bad. Like Corey Cross or like a one-game Aki Berg. Like this doofus is making big hits. He's making a couple big outlet passes. He's helping kill the penalty. He's blocking a shot off his face. I want to give him love. Really good hockey the last month. I see why Berube and company, they really worked with him. The Leafs organization worked their ass off with him because he sucks. But I get the vision. Long reach, good enough skater, tough, finishes his hits, decent first. Like, I get it. So Scott Lawton, Simone Benoit, the unconventional, that's what the Battle of Ontario is all about. The unconventional, unsung guy, the eighth man in the factory assembly line, gets it done to build the Rari. Simone Benoit, Scott Lawton, Sunday night, drop the puck.
I like all your guys' picks. I'm not even gonna lie, but I'm gonna go with the guy that has 5 game-winning goals for the Maple Leafs. I'm gonna go with the Toronto kid. I'm gonna go with one of the best free agency signings that the Toronto Maple Leafs have made. I'm gonna say in the past 2.5, maybe 3 years. I'm gonna go with Steven game-winning goal Lawrence. That's who I'm gonna go with.
Yeah,
Steven game-winning goal Lawrence with already 5 game-winning goals in the regular season. He has the production in the playoffs to be able to score that game-winning goal when it matters the most. So that's gonna be my unsung hero, the Toronto kid. And I have another kid I really like, and I feel that if this kid never got injured in a tough series we had last season, I believe deep down in my heart that there's a possibility that the Leafs could have made it past the second round. I'm gonna go with our young king, number 23, from the Toronto Maple Leafs, the guy that owns Tampa Bay, Mr. Matthew Nyes.
I love.
Those are my 2 unsung heroes of this Ottawa series. Stephen Lawrence, Matthew Nyes.
Okay, so it looks like we have our clear-cut winner in this series. Of course, it's the Leaf Dem in 5. Really quickly, what's your predictions for the remainder of the playoffs? Because, of course, based off of who our winners are right now, Toronto, Carolina, Tampa, and in a shocking turn of events, Montreal in the East. In the West, Dallas, Winnipeg, Vegas, and LA, with the exception of Avery probably saying Edmonton. Who do we see going in the East final? Who do we see going in the West final? And then who do we see going in the Cup?
I'm not saying anything this year. I am not saying anything this year. I'm not even saying that this year. You guys can say it. I'm gonna watch.
Okay.
But
Marsha, let's go with you.
wait, what I will say is what I posted in the chat the other day. Vegas held the All-Star game one year, and the year after they won. Florida, the same thing. They held the All-Star game. After they held the All-Star game, they won. St. Louis with Craig Berube, when they went on that magical run, held the All-Star game, and the year after they won. Toronto held the All-Star game. Year after, I'm not gonna say it.
Yet to be seen.
Yet to be seen. Another piece of history. the last time Boston and Detroit failed to make the playoffs, take a wild guess. What year was it?
1967.
And who did Montreal? Who did Toronto beat in the finals to win the cup?
Montreal.
I don't know. I don't have on my tin hat, but
This guy said I don't have the tin hat on right now.
Yo,
I don't
apparently
have it
there's
on.
bear mans out there saying like there's bear man saying that there's curse busters out here because it's like this is the first year in like almost like say 20 years that the Leafs, the Raptors, and the Jays won in the same night, and it's happened on 3 separate occasions this year. In fact, it happened like all 3 of them happened in the same month. The last time a UK golfer won the Masters, the Leaf them had won the cup in 1967. Rory McIlroy won the Masters literally last weekend, and it's looking like the homeboy might actually bring the cup home one time. And I thought of this random stat this morning before I let Marsha go off on her prediction. The last time a team had beaten the Leafs and actually won the Stanley Cup was 25 years ago against New Jersey. Ever since then, every team that has gone on to beat the Leafs and have gone to the Stanley Cup final since 1993. New Jersey's the only team that's done it. Boston tried to do it twice. They lost twice. Montreal did it to us in 2021. They lost in the final to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay did it to us the next year. Lost in the Cup final. Florida did it to us in 2023. Lost in the Cup final. Y'all see a pattern there.
The pattern recognition skills are strong.
Like I said, I legit thought about it this morning, and I'm like, yo, how many teams have actually beaten the Leafs and have actually gone on to win the cup in after going to the Cup final? Because it's like you look at LA back in '93, LA beat us in 7, and they lost in 5 to Montreal in the Cup final. Vancouver beat us in 5, they lost in 7 to the Rangers in the Cup final. The next year, 1999, Toronto lost to Buffalo in 5 games. Buffalo lost in 6. New Jersey in 2001 beat us in the conference semis in 7. Lost to Colorado in 7. 2002, Carolina beat us in 6. Detroit beat them in 5. Coincidence? I think not. No, I'm playing. What?
All right, let's talk about the facts. Let's talk about how this Maple Leaf team is the best Maple Leaf team that has been assembled since the Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander, and Morgan Riley era.
Yes.
I'm not just talking about defensively. I'm talking about goaltending as well, reliable goaltending. Let's talk about the emergence of Matthew Nice and the guy he's become.
I think we need to save that for another episode, though, because like I said, we're running on 2 hours right now.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Legit. So, again, I want to hear predictions real quick of who's going to the East Final, who's going to the West Final, and then who's going to the Final. Marsha, real quick.
Montreal, Toronto, Dallas, Edmonton. Final. Dallas, Toronto, win.
Okay. Reese, real quick.
The only thing that matters is the Leafs, baby. Leafs to the cup. I don't care who comes out the West. Leafs, cup.
Avry.
Because this show is episodic, I'll give you my prediction for the first round. Toronto wins that series in 7. As for cup final predictions, you gotta stay locked to the show, baby. As he sells programming. You gotta sell the show, Dave. You ain't getting that until later on. Keep people tuning in. In for next week. You'll get my predictions when we get close to the cup final. Because I want you to keep listening to this podcast. So
Real.
Great marketing, man. Great marketing.
That is great marketing.
Boom.
You know what else is great marketing? Sunscreen for Avery's forehead, because we can really see the glare right now.
Who's we?
he has to do is move the light over 3 centimeters. Leave the man.
Listen here, talking to a guy with at least 3 dozen peppercorn in his hair right now. Mr. Bear Barnett. Didn't want to brush through his head before he came on.
Listen, okay, it's WrestleMania weekend. I will fly over to Edmonton and give you sweet chin music right there. Blood clot mouth right now.
That means you gotta look. That doesn't mean you gotta start brushing your hair like them other wrestling fans.
Listen, okay, I'm waiting on my barber at this point, man. Like, my barber's gone back a yard right now. Anyways, you know what? I'm gonna pull an Avry in this situation. I'm gonna say this straight. You're gonna wait till next week to hear my predictions for the East and West final, and then the final. Because you know what? Y'all ain't ready for this.
No.
Yo, Marsha, you're too much, guy.
A lot of mercy. But anyways, folks, we have graced y'all with our presence for like the last 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours now. But real talk, the passion is real in these streets. Okay, Game 1 goes down Sunday between Toronto and Ottawa. Not sure why you would start the NHL playoffs on WrestleMania weekend, but again, shout outs to WWE for the mad schedule change up and basically ruining everything. You know, it is what it is at this point, but it is what it is. Shout out to Seth Rollins, stomping out Roman Reigns in his head top. Also, shout out Jey Uso. Shout out Quentin Byfield. Shout out Black Excellence. Shout out the Leafs. Edmonton's losing in 4. I'm kidding. Anyways, folks, we are going to let you guys go. We're going to say thank you for this grace and space between your head top. We will not have an episode this weekend as it is Good Friday and Easter Sunday. We will be watching NHL playoffs. We will be watching wrestling. We'll be eating good food. Make sure you get some fish Pan Friday. Make sure you get some fish Pan Sunday. If you believe in Jesus, him rise Pan Sunday. Otherwise, like, you know what? Just go enjoy yourselves. It's a bank holiday. If you're working, go get that time and a half. If you're not working, go spend some time and a half with your family. I'm probably sure you needed it. What?
Hey, yo, wait. Julian McKenzie, if you're out there and if you're listening, I'm sorry Toronto has to do this to the team that you're covering, bro. I'm so sorry, bro. So I'm just going to apologize to you in advance, bro.
Man, shout out Julian McKenzie, bro. I'm an athletic subscriber, man. I'll be reading this shit, bro. Top tier talent, top tier black talent.
Yeah, no, for real, man. He's doing good work in the business, but the Leafs are gonna give his team the business.
And give him the business. All right. Anyways, folks, we need to wrap this episode up. So again, we will be back next week. Keep your eye on the playoffs. We'll be doing some Twitter takeovers, and just keep your ears open for that live show. We'll be back on May 27th. Y'all get to see our faces. I'll have a fresh lineup. Avry will probably have some Vaseline on his forehead to reduce the glare. But anyways, we will talk to y'all soon. Deuces. Make sure you drink your water and mind your business.